Okay, Dave, so here's your before and after from the face on. So what we said was changed a few things in your setup, right? So you know, you haven't quite got the shaft leaning forward enough on the right side. I want your shaft leaning forward a bit more, right? But even with that one, the shaft's leaning forward a little bit more than what it was at the beginning, right? The other big thing is the toes. Turn the toes out a little bit, right? And especially this left toe, having that flared out a little bit is also going to help you clear and turn your hips coming down, right? But then as we go back, coming down, good movement into your left side there, good pushing down under that left foot. A little bit of movement with the head, right? You can see how the head kind of moves forward over your left foot a little bit. But what we said was, you know, looking at it from down the line, we weren't turning enough. And then looking at it from this angle, you can see how you're uncocking your left wrist prematurely, right? So there's your ulnar bone, and then you're uncocking that left wrist. So you're going into ulnar deviation too soon, right? That's the best way of explaining it. You look at someone like Sean O'Hare, as he comes down, he keeps that angle in his left wrist all the way down. You see the back of his left hand there, he's still in line with the underside of his left arm. That's his ulnar bone, right? And you want to keep that in line as the club comes down to P6. Shaft parallel with the ground there is P6, position 6, right? And if you can do that and keep that angle and turn more, right, you've got a chance, well, a very high chance, you're going to do it, of getting those hands opposite your right thigh, which is where you see all the pros, right? So it's a combination of keeping the wrist angles and turning more, right? And turning more. So in your little drill here, not only is the backswing better and shorter there, look at the backswing, right? But then as you come down, this is your old one, don't forget, there. So we're always going to stop when the shaft gets parallel with the ground. That's P6, and see where you are, right? Mm-hmm. So when you're practicing this drill, we want to get that right heel off the ground more. That right heel off the ground more and feeling as, there you go. See, I love that. I love the way you're sliding it back there. That right foot's going to slide back as you're feeling like the left foot's pushing forward. That's how you start the downswing, right? So I love the way you're doing that. That gets the heel off the ground a bit, and you're turning more, and you're keeping your wrist angles more, which gets you down to there. So you can see, if we zoom in here, right, you're actually overdoing it. You're actually going that way now, right? But look at that wrist angle there, right? So you kept the wrist angles, you've turned, you brought your heel off the ground, which enables you to turn more and get that feeling, right? There's more of this right arm pinching your torso now, whereas your right elbow was kind of back here before. You only had the upper arm pinching the side of your body, right? So that's much better. That's what you want to be. That's where you want to be. That's what you want to be practicing, right? And like we said at the beginning, we were looking for more power. Those two things are also going to give you more power, right? More rotational speed with your hips and torso, with your hips and shoulders, torso rotation, and also keeping your wrist angles for the lag, right? So before, as you came down, because you weren't turning, it wasn't as much rotation as we want, and you started dumping the wrist angles, the impact condition was the shaft is just too straight. There's your launch angle, right? Whereas if you can get into that position, and then if there's a ball there, the shaft's going to be leaning forward more, right? So you're going to have a better sort of impact conditions, and you're going to have negative, like compared to the angle that you started on, the loft is going to be negative.